Breaking their backs. Being outmaneuvered. Recon aircraft ready for mission. Divison bomb ready.
Yo, what is going on, you guys? Johnny here. Welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. First off, I want to say, sup guys, I've missed you. I haven't uploaded since Wednesday. I wanted to upload yesterday, but YouTube decided to screw me and decide, hey, you can't upload today. So that being said, hopefully this one goes up, and if it does, sup. So you know what, we actually have a lot to talk about today. We're actually going to talk about this Resistance DLC event that is going to start very soon, this Friday I believe it is. We also have another update that is coming this month, and Eric Hirschberg, the CEO of Activision since Black Ops 1, has stepped down. Whether he was fired or just left on his own, we don't know yet, but we have a lot to cover, so definitely be sure to sit back, relax, drop a like, and let's just jump right into it. And let's start with the Resistance DLC event. Of course, this is named right after the first DLC map pack, the Resistance, and this is going to start on January 23rd, and it is going to be a 5-week event. It is going to go until February 27th. Now, we do have a calendar of things that we can't expect, what and when we can do it, and a whole bunch of people are very excited about Prop Hunt, as you can see right here on the screens. However, here's the thing. I only see Prop Hunt in the feature playlist only one time, and that's not until week 5. Now, I don't know what that means. We might get Prop Hunt at the very beginning starting on the 23rd, or maybe we're not going to get it until the 5th week on February 20th, I believe it is. Honestly, it's hard to know. They haven't been very clear about it, and to be just slightly fair to them, Prop Hunt was only teased at the very end of the promotional video, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't know what that means. However, we do only see it here on week 5. Along with new playlists, this event is going to introduce new weapons. Of course, one of them we already know for sure was going to come, and that was the Volkssturmgewehr. Honestly, I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. But the other two weapons we have already seen. Of course, it was the Orso or the Beretta SMG. I actually talked about that on Wednesday, and also the P38 pistol, which once again I talked about Wednesday. Those have already been leaked. Those were data mined since the beta, I believe it is. And now that means there are still 2 more weapons within the game files that we still don't have, and that is the Arisaka Japanese sniper. I think it's Japanese. I'm like 90% sure it is. And the next one is also the Type 5, which I think is an SMG. Don't hold me to that, but I do think it's an SMG. Those are 2 weapons that are still within the game files that we don't have yet, which, by the way, I say good, you know, just drip feed us weapons throughout the entire year. That's fine. Give us all these events. I don't even care, because this game is just alive off hype, and hype means views when that time comes around. So, you know what, Sledgehammer Games, just keep on doing what you're doing, I guess. But the most exciting part about this event is that we are going to be getting a 6th division. Yes, and it is actually called the Resistance. Of course, the Resistance that we know about in history during World War II is actually the French Resistance, which, by the way, makes a whole bunch of sense. And there's a whole bunch of knives, a whole bunch of red, white, and blue all over the promotional stuff. And that brings me to my next point, that this is going to be a very close quarters combat, melee centric division, only because just look at these perks. But more than anything, this is what caught my eye. Here's the first perk, Pistol Tactical Knife. And what this sounds like to me is, in Black Ops 2, there was a game mode called One in the Chamber, where you would run around with a knife in your left hand and a pistol in your right hand. That's what I think it is going to be, because I can't think of any other way it would actually work out. That being said, hopefully it is that. I mean, I don't know. The other perks seem pretty cool. You can scramble enemies mini maps when they are close by. Like I said, this seems to be a very close quarter centric division, and hopefully it's cool. And just in case any of you guys care, don't fall for the clickbait. There is no new map. It's just Winter Quarantine. It is going to be for everybody. I don't know if it's just going to be around during the event, or maybe it's going to be permanent now, but Quarantine sucks. Quarantine and Gustav Cannon insta-quit for me. That's just me. The next thing that we have to talk about is actually very short and simple, and that is that we should be expecting another update later this month to Call of Duty World War II that is actually going to be bug fixes, because the update that we just got was only a weapon balancing hot fix. This should be a legitimate patch fixing a whole bunch of problems, like the spectating glitch at the beginning of rounds that lasts all the way up to a minute, which is complete garbage, man. I can't believe that we can't get this fixed, but as I understand it, it is not really their fault, even though it 100% is. They're trying to blame it on some of the older consoles, on some of the older PS4s and Xbox Ones, which, by the way, dude, they're not really all that different. The only one that's really all that different is the Xbox One X, and even those are still having that issue, so that excuse just flies out the window. It has no merit at all. Another thing that we should be expecting is actually a buff to the health regeneration times. Michael Condrey said that this was a design choice to make it long, because they wanted to make you feel like an actual vulnerable soldier during World War II, which I gotta say, dude, just nah, just don't, maybe don't do that. But we should be expecting a buff, and that is very welcomed. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about is actually Eric Hirschberg, who was the CEO of Activision, has actually stepped down, and he will be leaving in May. I don't know whether he stepped down on his own or was fired, and I see a whole bunch of people all over the comment sections of Twitter and Reddit saying that yes, this is a good thing for Call of Duty. Here's the thing. I don't ever want to celebrate anybody losing their job. If he was fired, officially he stepped down. We don't know if he was pressured by the board, but here's the thing. He was CEO of Activision for the last 8 years, since Black Ops 1, and every year since he's been the CEO, the Call of Duty franchise has always been the best-selling game of that year, with only 2 months left in the year when it released, if you get what I'm trying to say here. So now this could mean one of two things. One, this could be great for the community. Perhaps they're going to change things around, but then again, it is Activision, and they are a publicly traded corporation. And honestly, it all comes down to the money. If they can find somebody to make more money, guess what? They are going to do exactly that. So for everybody cheering that, yes, he's finally gone, guys, be careful what you wish for. It could get worse. Right now, that is my main concern, that this could get worse for both the game and the community as a whole. And also, even if he was fired, I don't feel bad for him at all. He was the CEO of a major corporation, which means he had a nice fat severance package waiting for him. You know what? I'm not going to shed any tears for this guy who has milked the community for far too long. Either way, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this Resistance DLC event, about this coming update. What changes do you want to see? What bugs are still game breaking to you? And also, what do you guys think about Eric Hirschberg stepping down from Activision officially? Once again, we don't have any reasons why. We just know that he will be leaving in May and that he stepped down officially. We all know how that goes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.